Hey guys, it's Darby. Welcome to the 4th episode of Serverside. This week's episode is covering the week of July 7th, and we're going to be reviewing DeadPool, Metal Gear Solid, Black Ops 2 Vengeance DLC, as well as a replay of the week. And we're also doing a tribute to Metal Gear Solid, where some of us will be telling you about our favorite moments from the series. So thank you, and stay tuned. Welcome back. We're going to go ahead and get the review started with my review of DeadPool.
DeadPool, it's Logan. Got your message. And for the last time, no. You cannot take our Blackbird out for a joyride. Stop calling about it!
Hey Deadpool, it's Domino. So I got another contract for you if you're interested. The coin is good, so just let me know. Oh, and regarding that other thing you texted me about, I can't. I mean, it was just supposed to be that one time, and anyway, just call me.
Deadpool, it's Peter Della Penna from High Moon Studios. You know, the guy you kept calling dickhead when you cornered me in the parking lot the other night? Anyway, looked over your proposal. Not gonna pretend I understand any of it, but the answer is no. We're gonna pass on your big game idea.
What? He said no? That was our chance to be in our own video game.
Maybe we shouldn't have written the proposal in crayon. Relax. You know he's gonna call back.
Oh, yeah, because of the...
Deadpool! Hey, it's Peter. You know, dickhead. Remember when I called you earlier and told you no? I'm such a joker, because I meant yes, of course. The new proposal you sent over this morning went off with a big bang in the office today. Genius. Just genius. So, sum it up, congratulations. Let's make a video game.
See? Once again, our explosive personality wins the day. High five! No high fives, we're voices in our head.
I've got my top designers banging away on a script right now. As soon as it's ready, we'll send it right over.
Script?
So when it was first requested that I review DeadPool, I was a little apprehensive because I had already heard all of the reviews all over the internet saying that it wasn't that great. And I'm going to let you guys know that I am so incredibly happy that I played this game. It was so much fun, probably the most fun that I've had playing a video game in a very long time without me having to get all stressed out and angry over certain areas. The story, or lack thereof, is kind of made up by Deadpool as you go along. It starts off with Deadpool listening to voicemails after he had petitioned High Moon Studios to make a video game starring himself. After a little bit of persuasion from Deadpool, High Moon Studios finally agrees and lets him know that they're sending over a script. Unfortunately for the developers, Deadpool and the voices in his head don't really like the idea of a script, so they kind of just change a lot of things along the way. So there are instances where you have to go back and redo things that production wasn't happy with. The combat in DeadPool is just your basic hack and slash game. There's your heavy attack and your light attack, and you also have your guns. It's very easy to pick up and play. There's nothing really complicated about it at all. Even the upgrade system is just basic. You get your points and then you upgrade them by buying new swords or new guns, whatever. Our hero helpfully offers advice and insults to you along the way as you progress through the levels and fight off wave after wave of enemy. You have a counterattack and a teleportation skill, which are unfortunately the same buttons, so if you try to counter, you might accidentally teleport right behind the enemy. Luckily, that's pretty easy to come back from. All you have to do is flip back around and continue fighting. The only thing that was really bothersome about the fights were the enemies were incredibly easy and easily predictable. They always had about 2 or 3 moves, and after you recognize the pattern, it was totally easy to avoid all their attacks and beat them. As much fun as I had playing this game, it does have its downsides. The lock-on targeting system never really worked the way I wanted it to. After you locked onto a character, if you moved at all, you immediately lost it, so you had to re-establish that. That made it really annoying to fight the enemies that were flying around over your head because you had to turn with them, and as soon as you moved, you had to start all over again. Towards the end of the game, there was a lot of lagging and glitching that made the game seem to run a lot slower than it actually should, so a lot of enemies just kept popping in out of nowhere, seemingly kind of phasing through the walls, even though none of them really had their own teleporting skills. However, Even though a lot of people had problems with the mechanics and the inner workings of the game, I do recommend that you go play it. As you can imagine, it's completely crazy. Of course, it's mildly inappropriate because it is Deadpool, and it breaks the fourth wall because Deadpool is in fact a parody of himself. And he knows that you are playing his video game, so he kind of helps you along the way or asks your advice constantly. I highly recommend that anyone who enjoys hack and slash games goes and picks this up. It's just fun to play through, it's very enjoyable, and there's no doubt that you'll have a great time. I'm gonna rate this game a 7 out of 10 because while it was a lot of fun, I know the mechanics are a bit faulty at times.
Aren't you a little funny guy? Oh, hey, didn't see you there, Chief. I'm Mark from Longer Boxes, and I want to talk to you about my favorite game for the PlayStation 2, Metal Gear Solid 3. Now, I haven't played any of these other Metal Gear Solid games, mostly because they sound like but this game's awesome, because it's basically a James Bond game where you get to play as an American. And because of that, you kill a lot more people. So you're this guy called Snake. I don't know why he's called Snake, sometimes they call him Jack. But he's a badass, and there are all these weird moments in the game that subvert the idea of spy movies. In fact, there's a villain that you have to fight called The End. And one of the options for beating him is simply not to play and not to fight him for 7 days, and he will die of old age. This happened to me because I could not beat him and I quit for 7 days. So once I went to go fight him again, he was dead from old age. And there's a really good moment where they described how futile it is to try and be a violent man. In fact, the game is very anti-violence, anti-government. And that's the thing I really like in a video game, because it has higher themes than just shoot someone. And it also has those moments where you're climbing up a huge shaft and you hear a song go, Snake Eater! So it really has everything you want in a game. There's such variety, and it's really just cool. Alright, so Metal Gear Solid 3, Snake Eater. Best game for the PlayStation 2, and it's the reason why I love Metal Gear Solid, even if I've never played another game.
Hey guys, Javontai here with DLC of the Week. This week's DLC is for Call of Duty Black Ops 2. The DLC is Vengeance. It gives you 4 all-new maps, Cove, Uplink, Detour, and Rush. I'm not a huge Call of Duty fan, but these 4 maps are innovative and they show you different things what the Call of Duty developers are doing. Also gives you a 5th map, Buried. It's a new zombies map where you're from a kind of Western style and you're doing trying to survive as long as you can. Honestly, I rate this DLC 7 out of 10. I'm not a huge Call of Duty fan, but if you're a fan of the series and upcoming games to see, I say go out there and download this DLC. Thanks.
Hey, welcome to the Crypt, and this week I'm reviewing Metal Gear Solid. Now, Metal Gear Solid centers around a secret operative named Solid Snake, brought out of retirement to rescue 2 hostages from a terrorist base. As he attempts to rescue them, he finds out terrorists have nuclear arms, and as he's trying to prevent them from launching these nuclear weapons, he finds out that there was a much larger conspiracy at hand involving key players that he thought were even on his side. Now, Metal Gear Solid is a stealth game, and the stealth elements in this game work very well. It was so innovative in 1999, and it did things nobody had ever done before, and some people still haven't. For instance, there's a level in the opening where you're out in the snow, and enemy guards can see your footprints and track them back to you. That's something that I haven't seen in another game since, and this has been 14 years ago. The camera angles work very well for a stealth game. You can see where the enemies are ahead of time, so it gives you just enough time to escape sight. There are cameras and guards patrolling around. They all have specific patterns, so you need to utilize every piece of equipment that you have. Equipment's also very scarce in the game, so you actually need to utilize everything well. The characters in this game are also fantastic. Solid Snake, voiced by David Hayter, is really great. The villains are especially amazing. They have a great roster, from Psycho Mantis to Sniper Wolf, Vulcan Raven. All of them are very unique and have their own playstyles. For instance, Psycho Mantis tries to outsmart you and prevent you from playing the game itself, so you have to think critically, rely on your codex to give you information as to what you should do. Vulcan Raven cannot be attacked from the front, so you have to be constantly going around to try to get angles on him. Revolver Ocelot uses a revolver that takes a long time to reload, so you need to utilize his slow reloading skill. It ensures that you're never doing the same thing for each boss, and it was very innovative. Metal Gear Solid defined the stealth genre, and many games to come have been inspired by a lot of elements that were found in it. Thief, Splinter Cell, Hitman. A lot of these take elements that were found in this Forerunner and utilize them to branch out in their own genres. It was really great, very influential, and it has been remade dozens of times, which means it is still great to play. And that's very true. I rate this game 9.5 out of 10. Near perfect. There are a few things in the story that bug me. It gets pretty crazy later on and just convoluted, but that's okay. It worked well in the 90s, and it's so great to play. Go out and find any version you can and get it. There's literally no bad version of it.
It was.
My favorite part of Metal Gear Solid was Deep Throat.
Hola, bienvenidos a Replay of the Week. This week I'm going to be talking about Dragon Ball Z, The Legacy of Goku 2 for the Game Boy Advance. Now, growing up I loved Dragon Ball Z as most white suburban kids did. So I got this game and I would always play it on my Game Boy Advanced SP, and going back to it, it still holds up. It's a lot of fun. You can play as this wide variety of characters as you play through the story of Dragon Ball Z, leading up through the Android Saga, all the way to the Cell Saga. The gameplay mechanics are simple. It's kind of the standard Game Boy RPG. You go around, you level up to get XP and you end up, you get new moves, you fight bosses. It's fun. It's a mindless game. You know the story, you know the characters. It's just fun to go through and play this repetitive game because every now and then it adds in these mix-ups. You get harder bosses, harder enemies. It has the variety you really need, and it's really entertaining. With all the characters you have, you can level them up to 50, so you can be playing for a really long time on a car trip, on a plane, anything. So I suggest find this game if you can, or if you already have it, and just play through whenever you need to waste some time. Alright? Yeah. That. Yeah.
I remember playing the remake of Metal Gear Solid 1 on the GameCube, and my favorite moment was in the Psycho Mantis battle. He stopped to say, "Well, I see you play a lot of Super Smash Brothers." And I did, so I almost my pants when I heard that. It really got in my head, and I had to call my friend Steve to ask him what I should do when I had to unplug the controller.
Alright guys, that wraps up this week's episode. Thank you for watching. Make sure and like and subscribe to the channel and watch next week's episode. Links to all of our respective blogs are in the description box below. Make sure to check out my Pixelbit blog. I just got hired on as a staff writer. So I want to thank all you guys for continuing to watch our show.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Definitely, Estrada.
Shot through the heart in your two blades. You give love a bad name. We all have to.
Action.
That was not our fault.
What is that?
Yeah, I have no replay of the week.
Subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching. Make sure and stay tuned for next week's episode.
Nothing's
I'm
wrong.
stuck.
It's just Mark fucking
We reenact the opening.
Hey, I'm Mark from Longer Boxes, and I want to talk to you about my favorite
We're going to go ahead and get the review started with my review of DeadPool.
Cut.
Woo!
Redo that.
What's up?
No, no.
It's like, oh, what's up guys? Just here. The DLC of the week.
So when it was first requested that I review DeadPool, I was a little apprehensive because I had already heard all of the reviews all over the internet saying that it wasn't that great. And I'm going to let you guys know that I am so incredibly happy that I played this game. It was so much fun, probably the most fun that I've had playing a video game in a very long time without me having to get all stressed out and angry over certain areas. The story, or lack thereof, is kind of made up by DeadPool as you go along. It starts off with DeadPool listening to voicemails from High Moon Studios after he petitioned them to make a
Video game.
I wasn't breathing when I was talking.
I forgot to breathe.
That was all in one. That was all in one breath.
That was all.
That's pretty impressive.
An opera singer.
I don't know why I wasn't breathing.
No, but seriously, we love all of you individually.
Scene?